All those tubes are original stuff and they're gonna have to get changed. And it's leaking oil pretty good. There's algae in your tanks. You see this black stuff? When it starts to sediment itself like that on top of the centrifuge umbrellas, you can bet it's in the filters and everywhere.
Well, it is really early, a couple hours before sunrise, headed back over to Stewart for the sea trial and survey of the Ocean Yacht.
Water heater already turned on. Outlets are on. Salon outlets. Thanks, Jim.
Here's a good example. You get down in the depths of the thing, there's a lot of stuff. See the steel tube? That's got to get fished out of there and replaced. So this manifold has been repaired. See the weld on there? Hopefully that's a tight. And all these tubes and stuff are original. See the blue tube down there?
Yeah.
And if you go from under here and look, all those tubes are original stuff and they're going to have to get changed eventually. This one has a new seawater pump on it. Bronze pump right there. This one has the original pump. And it's leaking oil pretty good. The wiring, that stuff you can play with, you said.
Sure.
That all needs to get wrapped up and tied up. It shouldn't be hanging on the dipstick, you know. It should look nice and neat.
Yep.
Like that.
I completely agree.
Brake horse, there's algae in your tanks. You see this black stuff? It's actually diesel fuel algae that grows in diesel fuel. And when it starts to sediment itself like that on top of the centrifuge umbrellas, you can bet it's in the filters and everywhere else. So, but instead of polishing your tanks, just carry some spare filters the first few times you run the boat.
Clear prop.
Clear prop.
Get help though, so that passed that on the anchor down.
Yeah. I think it's got a snubber on it. Let's see.
What's the name of the boat?
Not simple.
Not Simple?
Yep.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I know. That's the train, isn't it? Says it's lowering in 1 minute. You're gonna have to wait. Still let them know we're waiting though.
Yeah, you going?
I just wanted that around the cleat so we could drop it in a hurry if we have to. Yeah, I told him I'm the captain on the boat. I have a boat. Then they can't drive the boat again. It might be getting a little squishy, but it's still scary. Let's see what it looks like. Maybe we can get there. Yeah.
Clean up and yank him south. Why? There was an issue last time. He knows the boat. Got to call Bill.
Why the hell would you say that?
What do you mean? He didn't make the connection, so he saw us.
So we got rejected on our haul out. Turns out that when we approached, the marina knew the boat and knew they didn't have the right straps for it. Apparently this boat requires 3 straps, or it's at least recommended. They only had 2. And they just flat out rejected us. We tried to work on it. They had another strap, but they wouldn't put it on. So we had a sandwich. We made some calls, and thankfully we found the absolute pros at Hinckley Marine. These guys, I've hauled out a lot of boats. These guys are probably the most professional. They're trying to find solutions. They really made it work.
Where's the sling strap?
Let me explain what you just heard. You just heard a crack, the sound of fiberglass cracking. So of course, worst case scenario is we think we just cracked the hull of this boat. So it turns out on further inspection, there are exhaust ports that run externally that are integrated with the swim platform. And they are made of fiberglass and they protrude about 6 inches off the boat at just above the waterline. And so what we heard was the straps, I think, pushing upward on those. And we knew one of them already had a crack. You're going to see it in this video. The solution was, and again, these guys were pros, let's put chine blocks in, let's take it really slow, and we got it done.
Cracking like a sunbitch.
Is it really?
Cracking underneath the block. Cracking. Huh? Yep.
No. Down. Whoops.
So we knew there was a crack on the starboard side exhaust, but we didn't know how bad it was underneath. And so again, this is not part of the hull, it's bolted onto the hull, but it still needs to be repaired.
Right.
I'm going to show that as a bill with your permission.
Thank you, ma'am. One area he was a little worried about, but so far, good.
So it's in the yellow there.
And yellow is
It's not bad, but it's not good.
okay.
Now here, it doesn't even hardly move. It moves the meter to about a 7.
and it's usable that way. If you just repack the shafts, you're not taking in water. I've seen them run that way for years.
Okay, so it's not a critical issue if it gets packed.
Fix the packing so it
And
doesn't.
packing is as simple as taking this nut
Yeah.
forward,
It's
right?
all gonna have to be clean. Get all the green off it with a wire wheel on a drill. Clean
Okay.
it all up, and then put some Teflon packing in there.
Okay.
Yeah. And regular packing is okay too. Just depends on Teflon. You only want to put a couple wraps in there. It's a little.
Okay. Yeah, that does look nice and straight. So a little bit of water is okay.
Yeah. That one, as soon as you put the packing back in it, it won't make a slobbering mess anymore because the.
So would you repack this one or no?
Yes, both of them.
Just do them at the same time?
And when the gap on the lac nut gets where you can't put your finger in it,
Where are you seeing that?
see my finger?
Yeah?
See this gap right here?
Oh, okay.
This stuff whole threads on here.
Oh, so it's,
The whole
yeah,
nut threads on. So when there's enough packing, the nut will stop way out here.
I see.
There'll be a bigger gap.
Okay.
I can promise you, with it dripping the way it is, when I knock that loose, and you won't be able to because it's so green, you're gonna have to back everything off, get a wire wheel on a brush, clean all the threads, and start over. New packing, and then screw it on with it all greased and lubed. Never hurts, by the way, to put a little Tef gel with your packing.
Okay.
And then once you clean all that, put it on the packing, you'll be able to screw that out by hand.
Okay.
Lock the nut, and it won't leak.
Pretty interesting day. Good sea trial. Engines worked almost perfectly. Wide open throttle on the starboard engine. We ran through some coolant very fast. So, some concern there. Maybe cylinder heads, which would be more expensive. Maybe a head gasket, which would be less expensive. So we need to look into that. We need to repair the exhaust tube that runs down the right side of the boat. That's some fiberglass work. Sitting here in partially cold air. I think we've got 2 out of 4 AC units blowing pretty cold, and the other one's blowing kind of cold. So, again, refrigerant issue, maybe, or new units, maybe. Few leaks here and there, evidence of water damage, and there's obviously some places where water will absolutely get in right now that can be easily sealed. Moisture meter was otherwise pretty good. All in all, 45 years old, I'm pretty impressed with the boat.
I drove east to the sunrise. I'm driving west to the sunset. So a little philosophical discussion. Buying a 45-year-old boat. I mean, there's certainly probably wiser financial decisions, right? I do plan to use it for some recreational charters. Not trying to build a business out of it for that, but I think it, could offset some cost in those things. Just a lot of work, but honestly, I enjoy the work. I think I get bored easily when I'm not doing the work. And frankly, I don't want to get to be like an old man and not enjoy life and the things I enjoy. Boating for me is that. I don't golf, I don't do a lot of other things. Things related to boating is my hobby. And I think we wait sometimes too long to, retire at the perfect age or spend at the perfect age. And I've seen too often, including in my own family, where, bad stuff happens. And retirement age could be end of life, and I don't know. I think we should. I work really hard at the number of different things that I do, and I think we should enjoy these things, right? And I think it would be time with family and take the dogs out, explore Florida, explore the Bahamas, who knows what else. And again, let other people enjoy it too. Run the occasional day charter to let people enjoy Florida's West Coast. Big decision. It could be a lot of fun with family and friends.